So right now, I would like to take an opportunity to welcome up to the front Officer Linda Pelletier, 15 years with Sécurité du Québec. She's a community liaison officer for the city of Pincourt. And Bruno, are you going to be joining Linda?
No.
No? So Linda's going to tell us a little bit about what the police can do, what kind of things the police hear about, and when should we be contacting our police. Then I will also ask Vanessa and Céline to come up with Linda. Vanessa is works with SAVA, which is an organization that specializes in abuse, and she's an entrepreneur.
Good morning. So, like Ruth said, we're from the projet SAVA, which is actually a project that has we talk to seniors about different types of abuse, and the main reason why we exist is to promote cross-sectoral work to enable every community to counter abuse among seniors of 50 and over, and we also promote compassionate care and prevent bullying between generations and also between seniors. So we aim to inform, develop skills, and also give solutions for seniors concerning abuse. So like you probably know, there's different types of abuse. Of course, today we're mainly going to talk about financial abuse, but I would like, in any case, to give you a bit of a definition of what is mistreatment. So mistreatment is a single or repeated act or a lack of appropriate action occurring within any relation where there is an expectation of trust, which cause harm or distress to senior, whether the person deliberately wants to cause harm or not. So as far as mistreatment, just to give you a little bit more of info, also, if you want, I would guess within the dinner time, we left a couple of pamphlets at the entrance. So you have a little pamphlet about mistreatment and also a card about the elder mistreatment helpline, which is an anonymous and confidential line that is open from 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening, 7 days a week. So if you ever feel like you need to talk about a possible situation of mistreatment, you can always call them. So, I'm talking a bit fast, sorry. So about the different forms of mistreatment, of course, there's financial abuse, financial mistreatment. Usually mistreatment includes two types of manifestation, which is violence and also neglect. I'm going to give you also, if you eventually want to have a little bit more of information about seniors mistreatment, there is a website which is called maltraitance.org that you can always go to have a little bit more of info. So the different types of mistreatment, you have psychological mistreatment, physical mistreatment, of course, financial or material. You also have the sexual mistreatment, violation of rights, organizational mistreatment, and also ageism. So of course today we're talking mainly about financial.
Someone have some question for the police officer. Linda is here for that, and me too. I'm sorry for my English. Sometimes I work out on this my English, but if you have some question for the police department, this is the time. Linda is here, and me too. Yeah.
Is it true that you're only allowed one phone call when you're in jail, and you have only one? You're allowed only one call?
When you allowed one call,
Yeah.
the little telephone.
Good
Yeah.
telephone?
So sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
This is a right. You have to when you put somebody on the arrest, you have to call this lawyer, just a lawyer, or for the minors. And now, minors, parents, adult, you can call the adult and the lawyers too.
Oh, two calls.
Yeah, 2 calls for the minors. Yeah.
I have another question here. In your community, do you have a list of your seniors living alone especially over 80 years of age?
No, ça n'existe pas.
Ça
No.
n'existe pas.
No.
What about for the fire stations, the municipalities? Does anybody have?
Is that a good idea?
That's a good idea. Yeah. Some organisms like SAVA or GRAV working on that. He knows where's the person leave alone, the seniors leave alone, knows. Make a list, a checklist, no, doesn't exist.
What if a senior who's living alone has a hearing issue, a visual issue, mobility issue? Is there anywhere they can get a standard sticker that they could put on the door that if there's an emergency and first responders go, that they would know what they're facing inside? And I'll come to you in a minute, Glenn.
That's a good idea. So if the police officer have an intervention at the house and saw a senior leave alone, we're going to on va le référer à un organisme, au grave.
Yeah, the person will be referred to an organism, the Graves organization.
Yeah.
But what if it's not
Or
a case?
Maison des Aînés de Soulanges, so some organism can give some resources to the person who live alone, just to break the
Isolation.
But sometimes it's not necessarily a case of abuse. It could be just an emergency.
Yeah.
They fell, there's a kitchen fire, whatever.
Yeah, on va le référer au 6 à des ressources, on ne le laissera pas tout seul.
Parce que dans la ville de Laval, il y avait un système de bien-aide, mais c'est organisé par la ville. There used to be a Mr. Jean-Luc Poulin who used to run it. So if there was a mental case, an abuse case, the city's own welfare office went in private cars, unmarked, and took the person to the hospital to protect their identity, their self-esteem, which was a marvelous system.
You know, it's not necessarily a police case, but it's the community case. All the partners have to be involved in this kind of case. We're talking about the city, sure, police officer, and social worker, the organisms, together have to work together.
Yeah, because the needs are going to get greater. Glenn, you had something.
I just wanted to say that one of the most important sources of information is the home care department of your CLSC. Now, there are confidentiality issues, but if you take the initiative to work with the chef de programme for the home care department, it can be very productive. The main reason is, of course, they're dealing with vulnerable people that often don't have families.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's often overlooked.
Yeah. Thank you, Glenn. Glenn will be one of our presenters this afternoon. He's a semi-retired social worker from the CLSC Guy Metro. So he's an expert.
We're working a lot with this program. We're talking in French, it's SAV, Soutien domicile, for the seniors who need some resource, and this is a very important partners for us. Yeah.
So very important to always keep your purse on your shoulder or across your chest. And I mean, even when I'm alone, I mean, granted, I see the worst in people and events, but even if I go into a store where it's just me and the cashier, I hide the pad when I enter my nip, okay? I always think, what if there's a camera, you know, like aim right at the pad? So just the most important thing is to always hide it, okay? Even if it takes a little bit longer. I mean, now we have the tap, you know, for certain amounts that obviously takes care of that. But what happens in the parking lots, I'm telling you, it happens often. And make sure you always keep your purse on you. And what we've also seen is people, let's say, that put their purse in their car and then are asked to, you know, for whatever help. There's somebody else that actually goes into the car and takes the purse. Like, they don't always take the time to open the wallet and take out a credit card. You know, most of the time they'll just take the purse and they're gone, okay? So obviously if something like this happens to you, that, you know, you realize that your purse is gone or your wallet's gone, make sure that you cancel your credit cards and debit card as soon as possible and call the police department so that we can open a file. And if there are any fraudulent transactions, well, at least you'll be reimbursed by the bank.
Très important. Don't call the police first, call the bank first.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to cancel right now. Don't take the police is not the problem. Call after the police.
Don't forget also on the table at the entrance, we left a couple of these here. So first of all, you have our site on the cards, and also I think it might also be of help because there are people that go around in the stores with machines. You know it's PayPal. PayPass, PayPass, the cards that you just have to pass rapidly, tap, yeah, exactly, the tap ones. If you put them in those little envelopes, people cannot get your information from your cards because it is something that will happen. Let's say you're standing at the dépanneur cash and you're waiting and people can pass around with a machine and they'll just like pass it around you to get the information from your card. So this could be interesting if you want to pick some up when you get out. And you have also our number. And don't forget, also, I'm going to be insistent on this one, the card here for elder abuse line and mistreatment line. If you need any help or you have any questions, it doesn't necessarily have to be for you. It can be for a friend, family member. And also, if you have questions, doesn't have to be certainty that you're living a situation of mistreatment, but if you have a doubt, you can always call them, and there's specialized counselors, so they're professional, they're really there to help you out. I'm not sure if the police officers have anything to add.
No, we have the same envelope.
Oh, ben oui. You can take both of them.
I'm just going to ask one last question because it relates to the Vaudreuil Soulanges area. Last winter, I believe it was, we had a scam that was going around. I think it was here because I was interviewed by TV. That's why I'm thinking it was in our area. Where a young male would come up and say, we're going to shovel your driveway for a senior who was living alone. So they obviously had paced and realized the person was by themselves. They would make friends. Seniors are often isolated, so they're living alone, they're lonely. Oh, somebody's paying some attention, I've got some help. The person could ask, could we have a glass of water? Oh, come in, I'll make you a cup of tea, I'll make you a cup of coffee. Next thing, they were given chocolate or something that drugged them, and then they were robbed. Do we have current door-to-door or serious scams, crime that is taking place in our Soulanges-Vaudreuil territory that we need to be made aware of?
I work on the road, I answer calls, and I'm not aware. I've never heard of that particular incident where a senior was drugged.
No, not with your drugs, but
No.
the seniors victim by des vendeurs porte-à-porte.
Oh yeah, I mean, it won't necessarily just be seniors that they're targeting. Obviously, they're, maybe a little more vulnerable, a little more trusting than middle-aged people or younger people. But, we frequently get calls about, somebody showed up at my door and he was really very insistent about, he says he's working for Videotron or Bell or, if you have any red flags or if the person is like very insistent or wants to come into your house to see your heating system or your alarm system or, first of all, never let anybody into your house.
On suggère de ne jamais ouvrir la porte à quelqu'un que vous n'avez pas demandé.
Yeah, I don't answer my door. I don't. I mean, I don't trust people.
Somebody's
so-
come to knock to the doors and you don't know the person and you are not comfortable with that, you are free, something like that, don't hesitate to call the police, okay? On va arriver très vite.
You know, the person keeps, you know, knocking or ringing or, you know, you just call us. Like, we're never far away. You call us, even if it's nothing. Even if the person has a permit from the city to go door to door, we'll come and validate that and make sure that this person is legit, okay? And if he is legit and they are very insistent, which some of them can, we will have a little chit chat with them.
Would we use 911 in a case like this? Or is
No.
it- No.
No, it's
I
not
didn't think so.
emergency. But if you are really scared or afraid and you panic, it's okay, you dial 911. But in this case, you have to dial 310-4141.
310-4141, 450 exchange?
Yeah, doesn't matter yeah,
Or star 4141 from
yeah,
a cell phone.
on the cell phone.
It goes directly to the Soutien Quebec.
Yeah.
So star 4141 with cell phones.
Is that for everywhere or just Vaudreuil?
For everywhere in Quebec.
What is it?
Yeah.
So I think without any more questions, I would like to thank Vanessa, Celine, Linda, and Bruno. Let's give them a round of applause. Merci beaucoup.